higher the standard you hold yourself to, I think people around will see that and they'll appreciate that, and I think you can inspire others to do the same.
Yeah.
I'd also say that being able to inspire other people is something that I really hope to achieve at some point, because the reason that I've been able to pursue my talents is because I was inspired by the people around me.
Yeah.
In this episode, you will hear firsthand how two young men that are part of the Millennial Choirs and Orchestras in Dallas, Texas, how this organization has helped form confidence, leadership, brotherhood, and purpose far beyond the stage. We're going to start with Miles Bailey. He is someone who lives at the intersection of creativity and conviction, because over the past 12 years, on and off MCO, he's been a part of this journey, and he has made MCO part of his growth. MCO has shaped not just his musical talent, but his character as a young man. Other than being in MCO, Miles is a homeschool student, and he creates art, films stories, and he composes music, all while listening closely to the quiet pool of faith in his life. Miles dreams of becoming a classical composer, a filmmaker, and movie music composer. Cameron Warner is going to join us, and he's a senior from Frisco, Texas. He began playing the piano at age 8, and his love for music has continued to grow as he added cello and now voice through Millennial Choirs and Orchestras. Cameron not only performs but also teaches piano and cello, generously passing his skills on to others. When he's not making music, you will find him reading or playing soccer. Cameron was drawn to MCO after attending concerts and watching his sister sing, and what he found was more than music. Through singing, he has expanded his repertoire, built lasting friendships, and experienced meaningful faith growth. His story reflects what happens when talent meets dedication, community, and purpose. Guys, this conversation is not about being perfect or having it all figured out. It's about growth, the brotherhood that comes to a project or a community choir such as MCO here in Texas. It even talks about discipline and learning who you are becoming through music and commitment. And as a mom and a mentor, I see how rare it is for young men to have spaces like this, where character matters as much as talent. If you're a teen, I think you will hear yourself in their stories. If you're a parent, I think you will hear hope. Either way, this episode is definitely worth your time. Enjoy.
And we have Miles. How are you, Miles? Welcome.
I'm good. Glad that I'll be able to spread the word about this choir, because it's helped me change a lot about myself.
I was so surprised when I heard that you are have been around for a long time, almost ever since the choir began.
I don't remember exactly how long it was, but yeah, I've been there most of the years, although I did take a break during, I think when I was around 10, I took a break for a few semesters.
Yeah, so tell me about what are your earliest memories of the experience? It performs in big theaters here in the Dallas area. So as a little kid, how did that impact you? What are your earliest memories and how did it impact you?
I think I remember being lost in the in the massive buildings. There are so many hallways, but I don't remember being very scared of performing on stage. I guess I was just either not worried about that yet, or I was just comfortable with singing what I knew.
So I think it's fascinating the fact that maybe it was just second nature or it's just the thing that you were doing, following the crowd, following the
Yeah.
lead becomes kind of natural. Do you remember singing? Do you remember any feelings or sensations or emotions singing from that young age?
I think I do actually remember some of the songs we sang. It was a Christmas song. Um, I don't remember the name of it, but I remember being in rehearsals and learning the lyrics with everyone, and it was pretty fun. I didn't think of it as very amazing, but looking back, the fact that all of us young kids were able to do it, I think is pretty cool.
Yeah. And you mentioned that you kind of took a little break. What have changed you and what have challenged you being part of this amazing choir?
Um, well, I took a break after I think I don't remember how many semesters it was, but the reason I took a break was because I just didn't want to do it anymore because one of the times I got lost in the halls, I got separated from the group somehow and the um I think I was following the wrong leader and for some reason she told me to stay behind. I'm I'm not sure why she said that. I'm sure that wasn't part of the job, but that it was a little traumatizing for me because the building was very large. So I wasn't the biggest fan of MCO after that, but then when I got reintroduced to it, everything was fine.
So, of course, that would be super scary, Miles. And for context, the organization is a nonprofit organization, Millennial Choirs, like volunteer based, and sometimes moms get there and they're like, "What am I supposed to do?" And it's overwhelming. It amazingly works out at the end. I say that prayers and angels help
Yeah.
during the whole performance and the whole concert ordeal, but. I am so sorry that happened. That must have been scary. And you were like 8 or 10, that's when like 10 years
I
old.
think I was around 7 actually. So I quit when I was younger, but I think I rejoined after I was 10.
Got it, got it. So then you fell in love again, or you started appreciating it more. You were growing up as a young man. So what is it that grew on you about it?
I first started coming back. I still didn't want to do it very much, but the thing that grew on me was when I listened to the music and as I was learning the difficult parts, I realized I was having fun. That's the main thing that I noticed this time around. And um yeah, I noticed how it was a positive change in my life and I wanted to keep doing it.
Yeah, so I have been blessed with the opportunity of being there, again, volunteering and helping out as the um, rehearsal coordinator now with the concert choirmen, which is the concert ensemble you belong to, with my son and all that. And I'm so impressed with the quality of the teaching and the mentorship and the instructions in the music context. But I'm also very impressed with the young men there. The young men there, like you, probably, I feel, might be like, oh, mom's forcing me, or mom really wants this for me, or my parents. But I have noticed how it kind of grows on them, or maybe they go forced by the parents. Sometimes strongly encourage young men to, and our children in general, to participate or to experience certain things. Has the program changed the way you see yourself as a young man, Miles?
It's definitely helped me be on the a better path that it's helped me grow into a better young man, I believe, because doing it, I have to just be willing to go along with what needs to be done. And a lot of the times I have to do things that I'm not comfortable with at first, but by the end of it, I learn a new skill. So it's for the best.
Is there any of those stories that you remember that have impacted you or helped you see things in a different or new way?
I don't remember the any specific stories, but I remember that I really appreciated all of them because it adds a whole other aspect to the rehearsals because you'd expect to just get there and be singing the whole time, but the fact that they slow down and tell a story, I think it's really important to spiritually uplift us because the only other time we usually have something spiritually uplifting is just each Sunday. But having another day for that is very important.
That's one of the stories I remember is Professor Stewart mentioning something about fast food and how convenient that is and how we enjoy the French fries and things like that once in a while. But he says how much better it is to eat something different, something better, more nutritious, that it will benefit our bodies better. And he likened that onto into music. Do you remember that one?
That is actually one that I remember. I've thought about it several times before.
Right? So you tell people out there about the quality of music we listen to in the context of the French fries and the fast food versus something better.
I think that, yeah, I've noticed these days, it feels like people are too um, just complacent with taking lower quality music and other things. And I really want to become a classical composer when I grow up. So I think that doing away with classical music because it's out of fashion, it kind of hurts my soul a bit. So I really like that MCO is keeping that alive.
Okay, so I was muted when you said that, and I gasped. I'm like, "What?" So tell me more about that ambition. Is it MCO inflicted, or is it some
Probably.
really? So
Yeah.
what is it? What is it that you want to do?
Um, well, what initially started it was I enjoy filmmaking and I realized that good films have good music, so I wanted to learn how to make that. And then I really appreciated the style of music MCO was, and they even said that they try to make film scores for these songs. So I would just listen out and learn for new techniques that I hadn't thought of before, and I tried to write them down.
And just last night, in last night rehearsals, Professor Stewart mentioned something about one of the composers that have made music, created music for so many movies. And it's so funny how the youth were so surprised, like, really? Like he also composed like Home Alone. Who was it?
It was John Williams.
Yeah, John Williams, of course. And it was so great. With this
I,
ambition now and this goal you have is how has being in MCO influenced your leadership and your discipline and responsibility in other areas of your life?
well, as I said before, it forces me to do things I'm maybe not comfortable with. And by getting used to that, I've been able to publicly speak when I've had to, and no one enjoys doing that. I especially don't, but if it needs to be done, then now I'm more likely to just get it over with rather than talking myself out of it, which I really appreciate.
Okay, public speaking, then what in the context of singing and developing your talent with your voice?
Ooh, that's a good one. I I feel like there's a drought of men singers just these days. So I really appreciate whenever Professor Stewart is able to conduct because I mean simply I just want to sing like him. So yeah, I just try my best to listen and learn whatever I can to make my voice mimic his, honestly.
Wow, that's so true, and that's such a major compliment to Professor Stewart. I've been there, and even last night he was explaining a technique, about kind of levitating
Yeah.
us, from the ground up and teaching you guys how to like do that crescendo, however it's called, because I'm not the expert, so I don't know what it was called, but it's pretty cool. And the great thing about him is that he's passing that legacy on, right? His
Yeah.
biggest dream is for this to continue and for uplifting music and classic music to continue moving on. So I hope and pray that you do the same as you continue developing yourself and accomplishing your great goal to do what you want to do with classic music. So thank you, Miles. And anything you can tell the young men out there, especially, or the youth in general?
I would tell the youth to strive to listen more so they can appreciate what's going on because when you look back, you'll realize how amazing some of the things you were able to do were.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much. So now we have Cameron Warner. Welcome to this episode of the Wisdom in the Youth. And I am so excited because I have been involved with MCO, Millennial Choirs and Orchestras here in the Dallas area. And I remember when you were new last semester, right, Cameron?
Yes. Yep.
So we have Miles here that is a um old generation, MCO old generation, meaning he started very young. And then Cameron joined. And this is the thing. I love to see the newcomers and the people that are more seasoned, right? The participants that are more seasoned, and Cameron is one of the most recent ones. How has that been for you, Cameron? First of all, tell us like how did you find out about it and who invited you to join and what has impressed you about the organization in general?
Yeah. So about a year before I joined, sister joined MCO because a lot of her friends did it, and I had gone to a couple concerts and I really enjoyed them, and I'd always really wanted to do it. But my scheduling didn't really work out until my senior year, and so I jumped at the opportunity.
It is so interesting that many, I don't want to say the word quit, but step down in their senior years, which sometimes it depends, right? But
Mhm.
so individually, but the senior year gets super busy with some young men, and you were able to work it during your senior year. So how has it been? What?
Yeah, so I've always tried to sing in our stake youth choir and our stake adult choir and our ward choir as much as possible, and I've always really enjoyed that and really felt the spirit while doing that. And so um, MCO has really multiplied that quite a bit. You know, I think, like kind of Miles alluded to, the music is really, really good. And so uh, I've really enjoyed that aspect.
So it was basically church choir at
Yeah.
your small congregation, or people that are non-members of the LDS church might not know what a ward is, what a stake is.
Hmm.
So that's why I like to explain a little bit. But a ward is just like a local congregation, and stake is like many other local congregations together, kind of like a school district. Wonderful it is that based on that experience, you still join MCO. How was that audition experience, Cameron? Was it
Uh,
nerve-wracking or was it smooth?
no, it was pretty easy. I've played the piano and I've played the cello, so I've always known how to read music, and so that definitely helped the experience.
Excellent, excellent. And I just heard that right before this interview, you were teaching piano.
Yes, I did teach a piano lesson this morning.
So, how long have you been teaching?
I've been teaching probably since eighth grade, so 4 or 5 years.
That's
Uh,
amazing. That's amazing. What do you like about it?
I kind of I alluded this to my parents when I had a concert, and it's really seeing the progress the students make and it really come together at concerts. Really, really cool to see.
And who was CEO, and for both of you, Miles and Cameron, what surprised you the most? Or at CEO and
I'd probably say as someone who's only seen the concerts from the outside, how much really goes into it, how much sacrifice the volunteers have to put together a really complicated concert in terms of how many moving parts there are. And yeah, that's what I would say.
yeah. And how has being a part of this program changed the way you see yourself as a young man?
It's definitely given me more confidence, for sure. It's something that I'll mention to like my soccer team, and they all find it really impressive. So it's something I'm definitely very proud of.
Miles just shared with us how he got lost one time, since you mentioned the complication or how much work goes into a concert and with the volunteers, etc., and all the moving parts. And I just want to say that everything has an opposition or something negative, right? But then the good is more than those negative experiences. What can you say, Miles and Cameron? Like if somebody went through a bad experience with MCO or the professors are too strict.
They just need to stick with it because the thing is you when you stay with it for a while, you naturally start to get better. And then you get to enjoy the great music that you're hearing, and then all of a sudden it makes sense why professors were hard on you, so that you kept trying to be better in that way. You
Professor Stewart really sets the bar high with us. You know, I think it helps us, not only as a choir, but it also helps us set expectations for our everyday lives. Um, and it really helps us to uh, try and grow as individuals.
And this is definitely the place to elevate yourself and learn discipline. Guys, go through that. I've been there with you during concert days. Tell me about that experience. How do you feel when you get there, all fresh and ready for the concert? How did that impact you? Like you get there fresh and then it's a whole rehearsal for hours and hours before two concerts back to back. What did you think about that?
Kind of the semester before, I had been playing football, and so I was kind of off and on. I didn't feel like I got to know all the young men that well. I feel like during the concert, especially, I was able to get to know them really well as we would sit in a hallway in between songs and whatnot. It was really for me, it was a really cool experience to be able to bond with those guys and uh, just get to know them on a different level.
It's so funny because I worry as a mom because we're like the moms are like, come on guys, let's turn around. Oh, never mind. Not on that door. This and that. And then you guys are like, okay, following along. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if these young men are just tired of us. And then he said, it was cool. So, oh, that is so relieving. And I'm sure it is cool because if you're performing at the Meyerson Symphony Hall, I know it is cool, but I sometimes wonder, like during the rehearsal, how is that going for you guys? But you guys show that you're so patient and such great sports that it's just so joyful to be there. So how about you, Miles? How is concert day for you?
At this point, I'm very used to it, so it's actually not that bad for me. I have no idea how that came to be, but the first few times it's really overwhelming. But now I'm just used to walking in and going underground, getting lost at first, and then just following the crowd and making sure you remember where you need to be, and then it all works out.
Wonderful. And that's the thing, it's kind of messy at the beginning because this is like hundreds of people getting together from the little kids that start at 4 years old to the youth choir to the concert choirs, which is the young men, young women, like 14 to 18, if more or less, and then the grand choir. So it's hundreds of people coming in and out, orchestrate and the orchestra, right? So orchestrating this majestic um, production and performance that at the end it all comes together. And what I love about it is that there's usually a prayer that during rehearsal, as everything is getting together, the orchestra people and everybody's arriving, at some point the stage manager, the professors, they stop everything to pray.
I think it really allows us to just come to a pause and realize kind of why we're doing this. Right. They say that Heavenly Father really appreciates song uh, as a way of worship. And
Yeah, I think it really helps us, yeah, pause for a moment. And I think it invites the angels to sing alongside us.
Amen. I agree. Sometimes there a moment during rehearsal or performance that push you beyond what you're used to or your comfort zone. And what did you learn from it?
sing in a way that I'm really not used to. And so I think, trying to learn that with all the people around me has really helped me grow quite a bit.
Yeah, and even different languages, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely pushes us to our musical limit with how fast some of those songs are. But I think those songs are the most satisfying to pull off. And the thing is, if we don't do the best, even during the first concert, we give it everything we have for the second one. And the professors are just proud of us, which I really appreciate.
Yeah. Which concert do you like the most? The first one or the second one?
That's a really hard one. I think it's the second one because that one, it doesn't feel like you can do any more do-overs. So really try your best, and then after that, you're rewarded by getting to talk to everyone who you invited to come to the concert.
That's so fair. That sounds so good. That makes sense. So, and do you feel like you do your best, like meaning like there's no other do-overs, like, okay, this is it. Let's give it the 100%?
Yeah, for sure.
And then in the first one, is it like you're a little bit unsure still of what's going to happen or what's happening in the first
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, because the first one, we're still trying to remember where we need to be for every song, but it usually works out pretty well.
Absolutely. How about you, Cameron?
Yeah, I have to agree. I think the second one, I probably enjoy a little more just because it's the end of the day, it's a little bit more physically taxing. And so afterwards, you really feel, hey, I just did that while being really tired and managed to still sing at a high level. And I think it's really rewarding.
Last remarks for the youth out there in terms of excellence and high bars, out there and doing things that are difficult, but they're worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. The standard you hold yourself to, I think people will see that and they'll appreciate that. And I think you can inspire others to do the same.
Yeah.
I'd also say that being able to inspire other people is something that I really hope to achieve at some point because the reason that I've been able to pursue my talents is because I was inspired by the people around me.
Yeah, you guys have been amazing. Thanks for being here and accepting this invitation to share about your experience with MCO and encourage others to do so. Bye-bye, everybody. And I hope this is going to inspire you to up your game when it comes to French fries or really good food and likening it to music. So elevate your music choices and options. Listen to something classic or something uplifting. Take care and all the best to you. Bye-bye. Thanks for being here.
If this spoke to you, share it, save it, and live it. This is Wisdom in Dialogue.